What's good, everybody? It's your boy Tico on Blitz, back at it again with another video. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Tier 8 Soviet Premium Tank Destroyer, the ISU-130. Basically the Tier 8 counterpart, as apart from its tech tree variation being the ISU-152. These vehicles are distinctly similar in terms of what playstyles they have going for it, but they do have their fair share of differences along the lines of that. For one, the ISU-130 carries a 130mm armament, while the ISU-152, because it has beefier alpha, carries a 152mm armament, to which you have insane levels of standard pen sitting at 309mm, and on your standard alpha you have upwards of 640. As for the ISU-130, the vehicle features premium AP with 232mm of standard penetration. And for having such beefy alpha sitting at 530, relying on the premium AP damage, which is absolutely crazy to even think about, especially for the fact that the reload time is significantly better, sitting at 9.51 with just shy of 3,000 damage per minute. Along the lines of the ISU-152, it's got a little bit longer reload, sitting at 13.04, but that's mainly because of how much alpha the vehicle features, which means that its damage per minute exceeds that of almost just a short margin of 3,000 at 29.45. But when you are running your rammer on both vehicles, you can exceed those limits up to 3,100 for the ISU-152, but like I said, it mainly relies on the alpha, where this mainly relies on a shorter reload time, and you get 3,056 damage per minute with just shy of an 8-second reload time. I always like to run calibrated shells, especially when using premium AP, because you can see that the millimeters of penetration that it features is not going to be a little bit more than what it features on its standard AP, but AP, surprisingly enough, has a better piercing effect when relying on spaced armor. And for the lines of if you want to exceed your damage output to a more substantial amount to take incompetence towards the ISU-152 standard alpha, you have tungsten rounds associated with that purpose, along the lines that you also have reticle calibration to decrease your aiming reticle to a much substantial margin when relying on its aiming time and dispersion levels, and super speed boost as well to increase your maximum forward and reverse speed along the lines of that as well. And in terms of what the armor profile has going for, it's basically the same as the ISU-152, and we'll get to that in a second, having 90 mils on the front of its hull. And in retrospect to what it looks like, this is what it is against the ISU-152 individually by itself. And you can see it's basically the same armor profile, to which the side skirts that surround the upper infrastructure are going to be the uppermost troll spots that occur on the vehicle. Even if you slightly angle it at a position like this, then you are going to still get those very troll bounces here and there along the lines of that. You got an angled bit that intertwines between the upper and lower infrastructure sitting at 160 space, and you even have a ring that surrounds the gun mantlet upwards of 206. Does not make a difference whatsoever when running your premium ammo, as it looks like that those troll spots, and it's basically the same exact outcome to what's expected. And for the side of the vehicle, the side is upwards of 77 to 77 on the rear as well. And then for the rear, the back is upwards of 60, and then where the engine deck is located is upwards of 70. But the ISU-152 does take advantage of the ISU-130 in terms of HE values, sitting at 97 mils over 60 mils. And in terms of that, you can instantly butter through and pen the crap out of this vehicle along the lines of that. As the vehicle got its PBR graphics throughout the course of the previous couple updates as well, it did make a little bit of significant changes towards what its gun has going for it in terms of its aiming time and dispersion values. It did get a little bit worse on its aiming time from 3.3 seconds to now 3.5, but its dispersion did significantly get better from 0.316 to what is currently lurking on the ISU-152 to now 0.262, which means that it's going to be significantly smaller of an aiming circle to what it originally had before it got the change. And as apart from that, as tank destroyers got substantial amounts of changes along the lines of that, for CamoNet, the vehicles themselves have over 60% while stationary, while the ISU has 65. I mean, both of them are going to be absolutely insane when working behind bushes, which means that they cannot necessarily be spotted, especially when you are at the farthest most point that's in the far back side of your ally's side. So we're going to get into some gameplay here and see what we can do as apart from that. In terms of tank destroyers, they just have a Waffenträger. And speaking of an ISU, we do have one, surprisingly enough, on our team. So what we're going to do is that we're going to head right on over towards this side of the map right here. And then we're going to kind of find a bush, maybe something like this along the lines of that. And let's see if we can outspot anything that's maybe going to try to push on up over here. Because I really want to try to see along the lines of that. Okay, so it looks like they got a couple vehicles right there. I'm gonna go right where the ISU is lurking, but on the other side right there. So there's two bushes that are lurking over towards here, so we're gonna head right on upwards over here. We got that T-49 already off to the side right there. Let's go ahead and mosey our way right on up over here. I don't know what the ISU was thinking when he shot that, so we're gonna mosey on through right here. Unfortunately, not able to spot anything just yet. Got that K91 off to the side. Really worried about this T-49 though, to which it looks like we have the Leopard PTA. It looks like he's moseying on down. So we're gonna kind of see what we can do along the lines of that. We're gonna hide behind this bush right here. Otherwise, if the T-49 is pretty much just gonna be sitting back over here, then I'm just gonna continuously back on up. Oh, I think he did move. I did see a tree break down off to the side right there. So we're going to plop on our twos. We're going to keep those active for the time being. Alright, so there's the Waffenträger already spotted off in the back. Let's go ahead and back on up then. Let's see if bro is going to make a dire mispoke right here, because if he does, I'm going to be slightly ready for that. Oh, you also got the Titan Strife moseying on down as well. And they're 627 damage. Already, bro. How freaking insane is that? I managed to plop on my tungsten at the last second, and that is the beefy alpha to what can contribute for this vehicle right there. Oh, and then you can kind of just saw we barely missed the Waffenträger in that aspect. I was really expecting to get a nice beefy roll into this player right here, to which it looks like he's going to be coming back out right here, but unfortunately he's not going to have enough hit point factors in order to get a substantial amount of damage out of his vehicle once again. Alright, so we're going to mosey on up over here. We also got the E75 right off towards the side. There's the K91 as well. So we're going to kind of be careful and see what's going to be lurking on out. We got the K91 right there. He is not going to be lurking on out, unfortunately enough. We also got the E75. Man, nobody wants to contribute in poking, unfortunately enough, unless we got the Leopard off to the side. Oh, and we got him. Alright, so we can't spot him, unfortunately, but we get a 525 slap into the E75. Alright, so we're just going to stay put right here. We got the K91 off to the side. We're going to plop on our reticle calibration real quick. Another 500 damage out of his vehicle. This is the beefy alpha to what I'm talking about with this vehicle, bro. Just absolutely buttering through armor like absolutely nothing, bro. Like, it's absolutely insane lurking on a tank destroyer. Alright, so we got the Waffenträger now spotted off towards the far back side right there. Fortunately, he does move at the last second, unfortunately enough. I also got the Strife off to the side. Let's go ahead and see maybe if we can get another nice tap into the Strife right here. So we're going to back on up very slowly, and then we're going to kind of benefit ourselves with... Oh, he's got the side of his turret angled. Unfortunately, not able to spot him, though. We also got the Senlac coming on out as well. Oh, and there's the T-49. That was a target that I was sincerely worried about. So, we also got you off to the side. There we go. At least we can get a clear into you. That's really good. So, we're going to continuously back on up then, so that way he'll have trouble trying to hit us off in the process. We also got the Senlac off to the side right there. Let's see, I got our tungsten active once again. Unfortunately, not able to do anything in that aspect to clear him in any way, shape, or form. So what we're going to do is we're going to continuously back on up then. I want to try to see if I can get a beefy shot into that Senlac right there without getting spotted or outspotted by this enemy T-49 who's lurking off in the back. Okay, so he did move, which is really good. So we're just going to go ahead and wait and see if this guy's going to go. And unfortunately, RNG said no thanks once again. And that is unfortunate that we rolled 246 off of his vehicle. Alright, so then, we got the Senlac coming on up. We're going to mosey on up just a little bit more forward, as our IS-3 Defender is loading his clip, and he is going to take some necessary hits for us. So we're just going to continue to mosey on forward. We got the Senlac, just barely missing, unfortunately enough. So we're going to go ahead and lurk on back as quick as we can. The T-49 looks like he wanted to tunnel me so bad, and it looks like the Senlac is going to come back out right there, and unfortunately he makes a dire mispoke, and that cost him his game. So, now all that's left is the enemy T-49, so we're going to go ahead and mosey right on through towards his vehicle right over here. The IS-3 Defender has 2 shots lurking on towards him, and he does get cleared as apart from that. But you kind of saw a pretty good example right there about what Tungsten and Premium AP combined can necessarily do to your enemies and how it can benefit itself for contributing towards those high beefy damage alpha rolls that take advantage over the ISU-152, and we were able to do 2,700 damage doing top on the T-wall at that. So we're going to go ahead and get into game number 2, and let's see how we can fare well in our second battle. And you kind of saw right there, the camo factors did contribute for the most part in terms of not getting spotted, but if light tanks have very good spotting capabilities, then there are going to be times to where you are going to get spotted even whether you're behind a bush or not. That's kind of the unfortunate part about light tanks and medium, and some forms of mediums as well in that aspect. So here we are in game number 2. They have no tank destroyers. I am unfortunately the only one as apart from that. So we're going to go ahead and mosey our way over to the left, and let's see what we can do upon what's going to be spotted up there. They have a 590 in terms of what their mediums have going for. So we're going to mosey on right around over here, and let's see if anybody is going to poke in that aspect right along these lines here. So we're just going to be waiting along the lines. Let's see. Oh, there is a Defender Mark 1, and that is 600 damage out of his vehicle once again. Like, oh my goodness, bro. See, at times when you are not running Tungsten, you are lucky enough to get those high damage rolls as apart from that. Those 600 rolls, bro, are absolutely insane for what this vehicle has going for. Alright, so we got the 590 off to the side. Defender gets absolutely cooked in that aspect. So, we got the 590. Let's see if he's going to be doing anything in that aspect. Want to kind of be careful here because I don't want to get out-spotted by anything that's possibly going to be lurking on upwards over here. So that 590 is still going to be playing peekaboo at the moment right there. We also got the 247A. Let's go ahead and see if Bro is going to make a dire mispoke as apart from that. We also got the enemy Tiger. Let's see. We got him out in the open. 601 out of his vehicle, and there goes his game. After that, after getting plucked by every one of our allies. And beautiful example once again upon what this beautiful gun has going for. Alright, so let's see. We got the 590 off towards the back right there. I'm going to mosey on up just a little bit because I know that this side is basically taken care of. And they have no tank destroyers. So this is where I can use my camo factors to the best of my ability pretty much. Or, yeah, I'm probably just going to stay put going up here. I would have thought going towards left side where the Tiger is, but I don't really see why that would be a pretty good idea. So we're going to go ahead and go up here towards the enemy 590 then. And let's see if we can get a beefy chunker out of his vehicle. So we got his turret exposed right there. Oh my goodness, 566 out of his vehicle. Dude, just this gun feels incredible with those high rolls. Like, it's crazy to what's lurking on a tank destroyer like this, bro. I mean, absolutely insane to even think about. So we're going to mosey on over towards this enemy 274A, and we do get a nice clear into you. Alright, and then we also do have the enemy Annihilator off to the side as well, which he's going to be going on back right there. Let's see if he is going to poke once again in that aspect, which it looks like that he might. Yep, here he comes. Come on, bro, I know you want to do it. Nice side profile. 663 in the side of his turret. What the heck is this gun, bro? Absolutely insane. And we're going to head right on over towards this enemy Luba then, and we're going to get the clear into him. I mean, what the frick, bro? This is insane, man. That's 3,000 damage, literally just sitting back, farming off enemies that are over-poking, and then literally over-aggressing, and then doing such damage afterwards. Like, bro, that is absolutely crazy. That's why this gun catches a lot of people off guard, because of the fact, because they think it's 130 mils, that it would only deal like the average 400 damage roll, but in reality, that's not going to be the case with the ISU-130. And that is going to be another top on the team in that aspect. So I do got to say that the ISU-130 is an incredible vehicle along the lines of that. But just for good show, we're going to play a battle in the ISU 152 then, and let's see if we can maybe put up a better damage schematic than the ISU 130, or maybe we can still put up a pretty solid performance as apart from that. So like I say, the DPM values of this are significantly better. It's because of the fact that this vehicle has much more BV alpha. But you are still able to get those insane camo statistics as apart from that. So we're going to go ahead and demonstrate that. In probably 1 or 2 battles, we'll kind of see how things go as apart from that. So, in terms of TDs, they just have an AT-15A. So, we're going to mosey our way over towards the far left side over here, and let's see what we can spot upon the lines of that for anything that wants to poke. I did realize that I did not upgrade anything as apart from that because I literally just got this tank back, unfortunately. But we're going to kind of see how we can fare well as apart from that. So we're going to continuously mosey our way right along over here, and then we're going to kind of see what we can do in that aspect. But my team is unfortunately all going towards middle, but I'm going to be the eyes in the sky right along over here, and let's see what we can do as apart from enemies that are going to be lurking around towards B, maybe towards A. We'll just kind of have to see how things go as apart from that. So she already got the Astron Rex. Oh, we got a T-77 off towards the side right there. And there is 659 damage already out of his vehicle. All right. So we also got the enemy Annihilator off to the side as well. Let's go ahead and see, apart from that, if anything else is going to be lurking along the lines of that. Got the Annihilator, unfortunately not able to do anything in that lines against him. So we're going to mosey our way back on up then. We got the T-77 once again. We're going to be waiting. And there's another beefy chunk of 546. This is where the ISU comes beneficial. Like you can see, bush mechanics work, and you can't necessarily be spotted only after you fire. So we're going to kind of wait for this T-77 to maybe lurk down over here. Otherwise, if he's not, then I'm just going to go right back into my favorite spot right over here, and we're going to get a see if we can get a beefy chunker out of this enemy VK, which it looks like that's going to be the case, and that is 669 damage out of his vehicle. And now bro is going to be tunneling me in the process, which is totally alright. Also got the enemy Annihilator off to the side. I would love to see if the enemy T-77 comes around over here so that way I can finish him off. But this guy clearly wants to tunnel me in that aspect, so we're going to go ahead and wait. Alright, he did not want to poke me, surprisingly enough. So we're just going to wait. Let's see if bro wants to do anything in order to try to counter me. Well, it looks like their enemy team is cooked, so it doesn't make a difference as apart from that. Come on, T-77. I know you want to do it, bro. I'm going to bait you. Oh, I wanted to try to bait him. Unfortunately enough, 800 out of his vehicle. That is crazy, bro. And that basically put him out in the position to where he could be instantly cleared. And I honestly could care less about this T-77 right here because it looks like that he did fire his second shot along the lines of that. So we're going to aim, and just like that, he's out of the game. I mean, what the absolute heck, bro? I mean, both tanks are incredibly insane whether you go one route or the other. So we got the T-34-2 lurking on out towards the open right here. I hope he does stay put right there so I could heck him off just like that for 596. I mean, bro, these tanks are incredible. I mean, both of them, just equally combined. Absolutely insane. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and mosey our way up. Let's see if we can get the clear. Unfortunately not. But still, 3,800 damage. 2 heavies pushing on up towards heavy side and literally not getting spotted, not losing any hit points, or barely losing any hit points in that aspect. I mean, what the absolute heck, man. Just goes to prove a point that tank destroyers in the current meta nowadays, they're just incredibly stupid, bro. I mean, what the absolute heck. I mean, I don't even think I have to demonstrate anything much longer. I'm just going to drop the mic in terms of this session right here. I mean, what the heck, bro? Caught me off guard. Just insane. So, hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video on the other hand. And if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And make sure to turn on those bell notifications while you're at it so you do not miss out on any new videos or streams. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.